Okay, so I'll try to keep this brief. I'm working on some suggestions for improving the preferences panel in Inkscape. So the base of the work is that the settings for specific themes are spread across too many different menus and submenus. Um, so for example, if I want to configure the selector tool, there's a bunch of options here under tools and selector tool. And then there are other options under behavior for selecting and transforming, right? And then if I want to change, let's say, the hotkeys for for the select tool and modifiers, I need to come to keyboard and come to shortcuts, and I need to find the proper tool here. So it doesn't follow the same order we have in the menu. So I need to find it alphabetically, and I go to selector, select, and there's then the hotkeys and stuff. I don't even know if this is the right one. And then there's the modifiers. So I can, for example, for selection, there are modifier keys to add to selection, movement, transformation. Then there's the for node tool. So it's all spread, right? And then there's also, for example, I have the toolbar section here. So I have the icons and to turn on and off these buttons from the sidebar. But again, it will be beneficial to visually link these tools with these ones so that I know what I'm talking about, right? For example, this tool here, it's called the live path effect tool, but here I'm not sure if it appears if we have settings for it. And then in parts of Inkscape UI, it has another name like the drawer tool or the construction line drawing tool, I think. So let me see this one. Yeah, no, here it shows as live path effect too. I think the icon name is different. But anyway, so the settings are kind of spread across different menus, and some of the initial settings are not clear on how they affect the UI, right? So I'm working on a concept. So what I started doing, I took screenshots of every single page and tab. So here I have all the tools, so the settings for all the tools, and then I did the same for all the UI section and all other sections. Then I cropped all of the panels to keep only the content, and then I started rearranging them by tool. So I have, for example, a general toolbar settings. I have all the settings for the selector tool. I have all the settings for the node tool and everything I could find for the other tools. So the remaining of the sections, I then started grouping by subject. So I have a UI section with theme, windows, and keyboard, a color section, a canvas controls or viewport section, a file management section, so it will handle input and output sources, imported images, clipboard, cleanup for the file cleanup, and all things related to file management. And then I have a system section for all things related to Inkscape performance, folders that are connected to it, and this other kind of stuff. Of course, this is something that it is biased by my own mental model of how Inkscape works and how graphic design tools work. So it would be good if you could get some sort of user testing or maybe doing some card sorting for this. But so far, I think as a specialist analysis, the work has been shown to be promising. So what I came up with is this panel here. I currently have only the user interface and toolbar tabs working. So here I have the selector tool. So you see how in this one I added the icon, the name of the tool and the shortcut, and I can enable or disable each tool from this panel, right? Uh, so I could like just rearrange them, and there are dividers here grouping the tools according to user preferences. So this is the initial set of grouping the tools. I could click and drag the dividers to rearrange them. I can delete a divider. I can add new ones by clicking this button. I will add a divider that I can put here to separate the tools. And under the user interface section, there is a toggle saying that I could collapse the tool groups into drop downs. So that's regarding the proposal of having the toolbar with grouped tools, right? So like this, I would have the select and all tools grouped. These are all the draw shape tools grouped. So this will be up to the user to decide if they want to have tools under the same group stacked into a single drop down button, or if they want to keep them separated. And then if I open the selector panel, I have an about, so it describes what does the tool do, and it has the shortcut. I'm not planning on removing the shortcuts from the keyboard section, but I think it's in this specific case it's good to have redundancy, because you can come straight to the tool and change the shortcut if you want without needing to find the keyboard section and change the keyboard among a lot of other keyboard shortcuts that are there. So I have the shortcut, I have settings for a selection queue that I can change, the behavior for when transforming what to show, behavior for when selecting what to do, etc. And then I have this modifier key section, so I can expand it, and I'm bringing some of the behaviors I have in the previous Inkscape panel, right? So whatever is here in behavior for selecting, there's a lot of stuff here that I brought to this format and to this panel. And also for modifier keys, I can expand it to have the current behavior for choosing what modifier key to apply to each of these actions or behaviors here, right? So at a first glance, the panel is super simple, and if you want more granular controls, you can keep expanding it to get the granular controls. This concept only covers the toolbar section. I'm still working on how to present or group different options for the other panels or the other tabs. But the central concept here is that I'm aiming at grouping settings by subject, right? So rather, and make them more contextually available for users. So everything that is related to a single topic should be together and not grouped by settings, lexical namings, right? So that's my rationale behind this.